A peace and blessings to you. My name is Jere B. I am the EntreMusician, and so are you. And so is this super soul sister who's sitting on the left side of your screen. She's already a day ahead of us because she is in Sydney, Australia. It's morning time while we're stuck here in the States back in Wednesday night. Her name is Linda Mak. She is a singer, songwriter, and just an EntreMusician extraordinaire. We're so very happy to have her on our program. What's happening, Linda? How are you?
Hey, Jere, thank you. That was a really incredible introduction. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Well, I've been listening to your music for the past week and a half. I'm intrigued with your voice, so I'm going to ask you some questions about your voice. I'm intrigued with your songwriting. And I went to your professional reel that you have on YouTube. And what I did not know, what I couldn't gather, is what are you more passionate about? Is it your songwriting or is it your singing? Because your lyrics are very deep.
Ooh, thank you. Songwriting or the singing. To be honest, it's a combination. It's a combination because it often it comes together. Yeah. So I think initially my journey started with the singing, with more of the singing side. I would just lock myself away for hours and hours and hours and just sing and sing and sing. And I would try to copy the voices who I was listening to improve my own voice. But later on, I started writing. So I'm talking in my 20s. And now it's a combination. So the two of them sort of come together.
So what age did you start singing when you locked yourself away? What age?
That was probably in my teenage years. So yeah, all of my memories from my teenage years are I'm upstairs. We lived in a double-story home growing up, and most of my time was spent upstairs in the kitchen that nobody used, the spare kitchen, and I would just sing and sing and sing for hours. And yeah, I just loved doing that. So that was my pastime as a teenager, apart from doing homework, of course.
Did you get the homework done or did you skip it?
No, I got it done. I was quite a nerd, I have to say.
That's fantastic. So who were you listening to? Who most influenced you as a singer?
Yeah, I'm totally going to show my age now. Mariah, Whitney, I was just listening to them constantly. So I would have to say they were my greatest influences. A little bit of Janet Jackson. Yeah.
What were you when you said, well, you know, I know that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be in the entertainment field, because you are very intentional and very direct in your approach. So what age was that? Was that in the 20s when you started writing, or when you were singing going, yeah, this is my life right here?
I always knew that I was going to do something with my singing. But it kind of took me quite some time just to get to the point where I decided, yep, that's it. This is going to be my focus. Yeah. So I would say that would be like late 20s when I thought.
But you didn't have any conflict with a day job, or with maybe perhaps your parents saying, hey, you should do this? Was there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There was always conflict. Yeah, and there still is every day. Because, as you would know, it's not easy to just have or to be a creative. So there was always the need for something else. So I embarked on a journey through university. So I did a couple of degrees there, trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to do, trying to make some sort of career so that I could also do my singing. So I went through uni, and then I had a professional career in government for a very long time. Yeah, and I was doing a lot of singing and some theatre on the side. And more recently, actually last year, I took a redundancy, and I made that huge leap of faith and put that professional career behind me so that I can just focus on my music. So, and then 2020 came, crazy 2020. So yeah, impeccable timing, right?
Yeah, excellent timing.
Yeah,
Especially, I'm sure, as far as performances are concerned for you. But when you
yeah.
begin recording, because you have some great songs that you posted on YouTube, and
Thank
I would
you.
ask our audience to come and check it out because I want to get deeper into not only the sound that you have, because we would call it pop, but it's different. It's different than your average pop music. What would you call it, or do you have a genre that you like to place your music in?
That's a really good question because, like you said, I lean towards pop, and I think that's because that's a word that most people are familiar with,
Sure.
um, and a genre that most people are familiar with. But yeah, I would say there's a bit of soul in there,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of jazz.
Yeah.
So there is some sort of combination in there, and I haven't really pinned it yet.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. You don't have to pin it. I just wanted to
We can
know
leave
if
it open to interpretation, I guess.
that's true. And
Yeah.
but the one thing that strikes me, Linda, is the fact that I think your lyrics are too introspective for pop music. You know, this is not your bubblegum stuff that you can just dance to. I mean, it has a beat, so you can dance to it. It has an infectious melody. But, you know, you have songs like Do You Ever, where your lyrics begin talking about your purpose. And I'm going, okay, this is different. Tell us a little bit about your songwriting and what you're trying to convey.
Yeah, so you've hit the nail on the head. My songwriting is very deep.
Mhm.
Um, and it comes just straight from the heart pretty much. So it's basically just my emotions being poured out onto paper, and amazingly so, they come out in a particular structure, and a melody
Yeah.
just divinely comes along with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a summary there for you.
Now, do you play an instrument? Are you writing to piano or guitar, or how are you writing? Just to paper?
No, in my head, basically. Yeah, I wasn't fortunate enough to learn an instrument growing up.
I see.
I have done a little bit of piano, like over the years as I got older. But when I'm writing, it's just what I'm hearing in my head. So
I see. So are you hearing not just the melody, but you know, you're working with a producer, so are you hearing all of the voicings and the different instruments as well, or are you sort of like in a partnership where that producer is providing the template for you to write on top of? What's that process?
yeah, so my EP, which was released last November, the songs in that basically just came about from me getting a couple of lyrics and then thinking to myself, oh, okay, this is good. I'm going to keep going with this.
Yeah.
So over time, and each song, takes different lengths of time to put together, I would just sort of keep humming the melody that sort of comes to me when I think of the lyrics.
Mhm.
And then soon enough, I'll come up with the complete set of lyrics, and I can sing you the song. And then I'd go into the studio and I'd say to the producer, okay, I've come up with this. And I would just sing it
Mhm.
to them. And then they would begin the process of putting all the
Element.
music to it. Mm.
So are you working with just one exclusive producer? Are you on this EP? Are you working with a variety of different people?
On my EP, I worked with one producer.
Mhm.
So it was just myself and him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it was always very interesting to see how they interpreted what I came to them with.
Yeah.
So that was a very interesting journey, and a very new journey for me, because prior to that, I hadn't had the opportunity to formally record.
Mhm. So going back to the lyrics in "Do You Ever," let's go a
Mm.
little bit deeper. And then where were you? Is this a personal experience? Was this something that you were walking through? What was the journey in the lyrics?
Um, that song is basically telling the story of my musical journey of my life. So it's pretty much about just trying to get there, trying to hold on to your passions. For me, it's singing and my music. Just trying to hold on to it and trying to break free and get into the industry, which is really tough. So, you know, and on that journey, you question a lot of things. You question, you know, what are you meant to be doing? Is this the right thing for me? So yeah, a lot of questions have always floated around for me in terms of, am I really meant to be doing this? Is music my sole purpose? Hence why the song is so deep. So yeah.
So that's the juxtaposition of listening to your music, is that, do I want to dance or do I want to think?
Well, we can do the two together. That's pretty much me though, because I do love dancing, but I am a thinker. So, but actually when I'm singing, that's the one time when I'm not really thinking. So that's a little bit of an outlet for me, because I'm just doing and I'm just feeling. So there you go. Yeah.
So tell me about Come Up for Air, because that's another one that's it seems, I don't want to call it your signature song, but it seems to you know, fit you so well, like a hand in glove. Tell me about that journey.
Thank you. Yeah, that one, the actual phrase "come up for air" came to me while I was driving. So a lot of lyrics come to me while I'm driving. And I raced home and I sat down, and then in a matter of 5 minutes, that song was out and done. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is amazing. So, and that was, that came about, I was actually thinking about my mum, and I was thinking about her life and her life struggles, you know, raising kids and working and, you know, working full time, raising kids. And I kind of just thought, you know, everyone needs a breather. Everyone needs to come up for air. And yeah, that's where it eventuated from.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. So with respect to this EP, have you seen a lot of traction in Australia? I wanna confess that I'm very naive about the Australian charts and what's happening musically over there. Maybe you can give us some indication of the flavor that's on the music scene there, and what your music is doing to impact that.
Yeah, look, to be honest, because I released it so late in the year last year, and COVID hit, so everything's kind of been very quiet. I would have loved for my music to have more of an impact. I feel like there's a lot more work for me to do in that sense, because in the lead up to releasing my EP, I didn't really have the knowledge that you sort of need to really get your music out there, to market yourself. So I'm kind of on that learning curve at the moment. I'm really trying to put it out there as much as I can, and and then try to sort of to work out what response I'm getting. So that's kind of still very fresh for me at the moment.
I see. So now, prior to COVID, were you performing, or do you have a band? Do you front a live presentation, or is it just basically you and tracks in different clubs or different venues?
Yeah, I've tried a lot of different things over the years. So I've been with a couple of bands. I've fronted a couple of bands. I did a lot of local musical theatre. I did wedding singing for a long time. I had my own little business on the side. And whilst I was kind of doing all of that, you know, I was involved in music, but I wasn't really writing until I had the opportunity to work with the producer. And he kind of called me in and said, well, let's see what you can do. And I sang to him a little snippet of a song that I'd had in my head for, you know, a million years. Right. And he said, okay, well, can you come back to me with more? And this was probably about 2 years ago. And I said to him, okay, yeah, sure, this is amazing. And, you know, I really felt that, you know, this person believed in me and thought that, you know, I had some value musically. Went home and then put that song together. And then, a couple of years later, we've put out an EP with 4 songs. So that was really my my entrance into the world of songwriting and recording.
So this may sound like a very it's a loaded question, but it's not. It's not.
Right.
What are you hoping? No COVID, post COVID. What are you hoping to accomplish? Because the reason I ask this is because in looking at your reel again, I see you in a variety of different contexts. With respect to being the food critic, the children's project, and there was a part of a reel. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was almost like you were a newscaster. And I thought,
Yes.
wow, Linda can work in a lot of different contexts. So, what are you trying to do? All of them as the entree musician, or what is the lane that you most want to go down?
Yeah, so in terms of my music, I would love to continue songwriting and recording and putting music out there. And I would love to touch as many people as possible, because to me, that's pretty much it, to be able to touch people and make a difference and inspire people. And then also to be inspired by that feeling, that reaction. But then again, on the side, you need to have some kind of day job. So that's where the presenting comes into it. Because last year, when I took a redundancy from work and thought, yep, that's it, I'm going to do this. I need to put my academic sort of professional career on the side, and I need to focus more on being a creative. That's when I went towards the presenting. And I thought, if I can do presenting as my creative day job to provide sustenance to my singing, then that would be the dream. Yeah.
So is that what you're doing full time then? You are a presenter?
I'm looking for presenting work because, again, impeccable timing, COVID hit, and then everything's been really quiet. So, yeah.
Hence the reel, though. It really is a great reel. And again, to our audience, it's on YouTube. I'll put a link to your music, Linda, as well as the professional reel in the show notes. And we'll do everything that we can stateside to promote your music. Because I must say this, I'll confess it here. Internationally, I receive a lot of different people send me a lot of stuff, a lot of submissions. And I try to be respectful because I'm a musician and a creative as well. So I know what rejection feels like. So I try to go through most of the stuff, but the people who join us here on the platform is something that are people who have that something else, that other. And the reason that you're here, and I'm grateful for your time, is because you have that other. It's not just your music. It's not just your singing, which we're going to get into because Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, you have a strength in your voice that is infectious and it really does call. So you have the lyrics going for you, and then you have that strength, that infectious magnetic voice that hits you at a number of different layers. So that's why I wanted to interview you because, oh my gosh, you're like the total package. And I really do appreciate meeting you, having the opportunity to have this conversation with you and learn more about what's going on behind the music.
Wow, that's really amazing.
It's the truth.
Yeah, my heart goes to you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate those words, and I really appreciate you taking that time to truly appreciate what it is that I've put out there. That means so much to me. Thank you.
So you were aware that on our podcast, we began this series called The Spirit of Music.
Yes.
And that's another reason why I wanted to talk to you because, again, in your lyrics, when you asked, do you know your purpose? I thought, okay, Linda is tapped into it. So the spirit of music, would you agree that music is spirit? Would you agree with that statement?
I would absolutely agree because I feel like it's more than me. It's more than you. It's just a really incredible divine energy or being, however you want to relate to it. It just, sometimes I can't even explain where it comes from. when I'm in that, songwriting mode. So yes, absolutely.
And it's a gift that's been given to us to kind of harness what we're feeling most.
Mm.
I'm asking. I
Mm.
don't want to put words in your mouth. I want to go a little bit deeper in the sense that you have chosen to go a direction, especially with your lyrics. Maybe not that there's anything wrong with it, of course. Maybe in the future, on a future project, you will probably say, hey, I'm just going to write a feel good, hey, everybody get up and dance type of song. But you didn't
Mm.
choose to do this on this EP.
Mm.
Did you feel
Right.
driven, or did you feel like these lyrics and these emotions were being downloaded into you? Or I'm trying to get out of the way and have
Yes.
you tell.
Yes. Look, I really resonate with that concept of being downloaded, because that's exactly how I feel. Well, that's how I felt putting the EP together. The songs just came to me, and yeah, I can't really explain how or from where, but there is definitely something greater happening, and I feel like people really need to tune into that, and need to tune into that energy and into music on a deeper level, because I feel like it can connect with people in so many ways. And on so many different levels, depending where people are and depending on what people need, because everybody relates to music differently. And I know that I definitely relate to music that is more heartfelt and that is more on the deep level.
Yeah.
And yeah. Mm.
So you're writing from a place that you actually migrate to when you listen to other artists? Is that a fair?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, because I really feel that a strong message needs to be sent out when I'm writing music. I do love to listen to music that is more like fun and boppy and more poppy.
Yeah.
But I really feel like there is more to be said, and there is more to be expressed, and that really can come through lyrics and songwriting. And a deep song, such as Do You Ever or Come Up for Air, probably more so Come Up for Air, yes, it is very deep if you're going to look at it lyrically, but it could resonate with kids. And I've seen that. I've seen kids, singing along to it and dancing to it, and it's a very deep song, yet it resonates with them in some way. So, yeah.
That's pretty deep right there. That's what do you find most rewarding about being a creative?
For myself, it's when I can when I'm in my element, and when I say in my element, it's when I'm coming purely from heart. So when I'm on stage and I'm coming from a really pure state. So I'm completely myself, heart-wise, and I feel, yeah, that's really important, to be able to be your true self.
Yeah.
And for me, it's in that sort of space. It's in that creative space.
What do you find most challenging?
The most challenging part, I have to say, is trying to find the headspace to be in the creative space, because the head takes over a lot of the time. It takes over the heart a lot of the time. Wow. So on a daily basis, most of us are probably in our headspace. We're trying to get on with life, and things are going so fast. So to try to get into that creative space, it's hard work. And it's hard work to also to put it out there as well, because it takes a lot of energy to hold on to a dream and to a passion, and put it out there.
So do you have a special place that you go? Is there a special time that the muse is downloaded into your spirit? Or, I've heard people say I write best by the water or by the beach or when I'm in the shower. You said driving, but I don't know if that's a constant for you. Is it
Yeah.
morning, evening? Is there a time and a place where you find you're most creative?
Not really, to be honest. It's kind of just whenever and wherever. I feel like I'm constantly getting lyrics and making up little melodies and making up little rhymes. So it kind of just comes and goes. Nighttime, I find I can get a bit like, very deep because, things are quietening down and you can really get into that deep sort of space.
Yeah.
But yeah, things just kind of come to me at random moments. The shower is a great place. I've spent a lot of time singing in the shower.
So have I, and I'm not a singer.
It's your own personal stage, so it's amazing. It's great.
Yeah, but my wife doesn't appreciate it, so there you have it.
That is the problem, is that you do subject everybody else in the household to it.
Don't I know it? Absolutely. Well, what do you want people most to think about your music? Let's go 20 years from now. You seem to be much younger than I am, see the gray hair here, but with respect to 20 years from now, building a body of work as intentional as your music speaks itself to be, what do you want people to ultimately look down and say, oh, this is who Linda Mak is?
I would love for people to just think of me as a genuine person, someone who they can relate to. I don't feel that I'm extraordinary or that I'm different to other people. I would just really love for people to get whatever they need from my music, and then just be able to relate to it in a very relatable way. I'm real. This is just coming from my heart. And I would love to just be able to inspire other people to do that, whether it's in the creative field or in other industries. Just to know that, this is real. This is not coming from a fairy tale land. I'm not a pop star. I'm just an ordinary person who loves to sing and who loves to get deep and share my heart with other people.
That's excellent. Now, we were talking earlier about the genre of music currently that this EP is. Do you see yourself continuing to make this style of music, or when you're writing, are you categorizing your thoughts and going, hey, that would make a really great jazz tune, that would make a nice ballad or slow? I mean, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, on various projects, do you see different facets of Linda Mak, or will this be just a template of what's on this EP right now?
I think this EP is definitely a starting point, because there is a ballad on there, Do You Ever? And I really love that sort of writing, singing style. I do love the poppy music also, because I'd love for people to be, driving along and having a little sort of boogie in the car, or there's a dance track on there, I Just Want to Implode, which again is also very deep in lyrics, but it's very dancey, and I love dance music. I love to dance. So I feel like this was more of an experimentation of the different styles that I could potentially put out there, and hoping that along the way I may or may not find which one I really love, because I also love writing children's jingles. I wouldn't mind sort of trialing a bit of jazz. So yeah, I feel like this is just sort of putting some feelers out there for the minute, and then I'll sort of see where my journey takes me.
So let's talk about the children's project. Was that is that the recording that you did specifically for children that's available right now? You want to talk about that a little bit?
At the moment, I don't have anything that's available for children, but it's definitely something that I see on the horizon, because Children are just incredible, the way that they relate to music. They really, really feel it from a really sort of deep place. You know, it's yes, they don't really have that headspace that I was talking about earlier. That adults do. They don't need to put anything to the side. They just feel it straight away, and that they're in that zone. So I would really love to put something out there for kids because, yeah, it gives me joy when I see children having a great time with music. Yeah. So that's definitely something I'd love to work on in the future. Yeah.
Excellent. No, I thought because of the reel that I watched that project was excellent. Great idea, and I thought it was something that might have been available now. So go for it.
Stay tuned.
Definitely. Now, was there a question, Linda, that you thought, when I get on this this call with Jere, he's going to ask me this, and I'm ready to answer this, and I didn't ask the question. If you could answer the unanswered question for me and tell everyone who's watching, hey, this is what I really hope Jere would ask me, and he blew it. He didn't ask me the question.
Wow, okay. You've asked a lot of questions that have really touched me in a deep way. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh, gosh. To be honest, you've kind of touched on most things.
That's good.
I guess maybe that $1 million question would be, about what led me to this, and to that, and this is also part of the answer to why my music is so deep. So, and everyone is obviously on a journey in this life, and so on my journey there have been a lot of struggles, and everyone has struggles, everyone has obstacles.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important to be able to let people know that they're not alone in their struggles, and there are other people who will understand what they're going through, and you can reach out to people, you can have conversations with people, you can come up for air, so an element behind my music is the fact that you don't have to remain in your struggles. You can come atop of your struggles. So, yeah, there's a much sort of deeper element there, and, a sort of a silent sort of message all the way through.
That's absolutely fantastic. It really is. Wow. I'm glad that you answered the question I didn't ask.
I don't know if I've answered it, but I definitely answered something.
Well, no, you touched on it, because again, all one needs to do is really listen to come up for air, or do you ever? And that was the something else. That was why LinkedIn and our messaging back and forth was so important, to say, hey, let's provide an opportunity for a conversation, because if it's bubblegum pop, I mean, God bless it. I'm a musician, so I don't disparage or disrespect any particular genre. But again, to staple the lyrics that you have onto the type of music that it is, and it doesn't feel contrived. It doesn't feel like you had to force anything. And the way you sang it was such, it was so liquid. It was like water. It just flowed into it. I thought, fantastic artist. You're going to do very well. You are being slowly paused from this COVID season. All of us are. But I'm sure when the green light hits, you're going to be running at 100 miles per hour, and you should be, because you deserve every great blessing the Lord places upon you. I mean that wholeheartedly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your heartfelt words, and also for your interest in the message or the deeper meaning behind what I do. It's I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I think what you do the videos that you're putting together and the work that you do, Sound Doctrine, it's so inspirational to see that you also have a deeper message that you're trying to put out there with what you do. So thank you so much. And I think more musicians need to know about you, more creatives need to know about you and need to know about the series that you're putting together, because it's so inspiring, and that's what we need. We need to be inspired and to be uplifted. So thank you.
Well, I'm grateful. We're taking it a step at a time, one small footstep at a time,
Yeah.
and we'll grow the network. But Linda, it has been a pleasure to speak with you, to talk to you. Again, you're in the Thursday morning. I need to find out what Thursday morning looks like because I haven't gone to bed yet. But so grateful. How do people get in touch with you? What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So I have a YouTube channel, so just look up Linda Mak, Linda with an I, and Mak, M-A-K. They can subscribe to that channel. I also have a website, lindaofficial.net, so they can contact me on that. My EP is available on all of the streaming platforms that are out at the moment, so iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify. Just look up Linda Mak, M-A-K. I'm there. Yeah, I would love to share it with you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it directly from Linda herself. She is an aspiring superstar, and I'm not using that word to flatter her at all. I think that she has everything that it takes to really succeed in this business. When you go to her YouTube channel and you see her professional reel, you'll see her in all of her context. When you see the videos that she's made for these wonderful songs, you're going to fall in love with her music just like I did. And we're so grateful to have her on. Linda, you can come back anytime. You are part of the EntreMusician Network.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Well, my name is Jere B. I am the EntreMusician. Linda Mak is an EntreMusician, but you know what? So are you. We will see you next time. God bless.